Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Beth, and for this Plan Miss video, this is one of our good old standards. I am gonna go over what I read in November, and we're gonna set up my reading journal for the last month of 2024. So let's go ahead and get into it. I honestly didn't read a whole lot in November. That's a little skewed. Two of the books I read were huge. That does take into account the page count as far as the reading, but I didn't read at, say, the pace that I have been reading for other months. If you've watched any of my other videos, y'all know there's a lot going on in my life right now. And so there's some things that have changed as far as my reading habits, and that's okay. What we did do is hit our Goodreads goal. And what we did do is hit our memoir goal. So we're really close to hitting all of our goals for the end of the year. I need to read one more classic, and I will have hit the goals that I set for myself. And I think I know which one of those I'm going to read. So only one of these did I read in physical format, and that is Abaddon's Gate by James S.A. Corey. Abaddon's Gate propels the Expanse series into new territory as humanity faces the mysterious alien gate beyond Uranus, while Jim Holden and the Rocinante crew join a vast mission to uncover the gate's purpose, hidden agendas, and a vendetta against Holden threaten to derail humanity's fragile unity. Packed with tension and moral complexity, this installment explores the fine line between opportunity and destruction in the face of the unknown. So here is my page for Abaddon's Gate. There's a lot of stuff in here on humanity and how we relate to one another, like violence is what people do when they run out of good ideas. And I can't tell you a whole lot more than that because, again, it's third of 9 in a series, so anything I say is going to give all kinds of things away. If you're ever interested in picking up this series, this did feel like a little bit of a slowdown and then a setup for other things to come. We kind of had to get all of the players into position at said gate out in the universe and then see what happens after there. So it is a little bit of a slower read, and yet it went wildly faster than the third read I had for the month, which kind of felt like a slog. But still, I put in here, we have new character point of views, but I missed 2 of our characters from book 2 that are not in book 3. I'm hoping that surely they appear somewhere in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. I gave Abaddon's Gate a 4-star instead of a 5. And I think I've given both of the other book 1 and book 2, I think I gave 5 stars. So that is Abaddon's Gate. And then, like I said, I ticked off my memoir goal, and that memoir was The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop, which is a heartfelt and spirited memoir that chronicles the actress's 6-decade journey through Broadway, Hollywood, and beyond. From her Tony-winning role in A Chorus Line to her iconic portrayal of Emily Gilmore, Bishop shares behind-the-scenes anecdotes, personal triumphs, and profound life lessons. This warm and candid reflection celebrates a remarkable career and a life lived with resilience, wit, and unapologetic authenticity. I loved Kelly's story. I didn't love the mechanics of Kelly's story. So I wrote down here, I want to love, love, love this book and 5-star it to the world. But like many celebrity memoirs, there is an element of repetition that is so pervasive, it's difficult to overlook. I haven't looked to see which publishing houses publish the most celebrity memoirs, but I really need their editors to get in there and pare back just the repetition, the amount of things that were told over and over and over and over again. And by the time you get to the end, you're like, yes, I know already. But what I did not know at all, I had no idea Kelly Bishop's history and dance and Broadway and theater. I was introduced to Kelly Bishop, like many of those in my generation, as the mom of Baby from Dirty Dancing. And we find out in this book that's not even the role she was originally cast in. She was cast as the dance bimbo wife, Vivian. And then the mom character sort of wasn't working out. And she showed up on set and they were like, yo, hey, hi, do you want to do this other thing? And she was like, what? And of course, much larger role. much more speaking parts to it, and she was phenomenal in it, of course. Going farther back and finding out that she was in the inaugural cast of A Chorus Line, and she has a Tony Award for said role in A Chorus Line, and how A Chorus Line came to be. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I think you need to read it. It's just the most organic, amazing way a musical has probably ever been written. It's just a phenomenal life. She was a woman way ahead of her time, wildly feministic, very early on. She tied her tubes very young because she knew she wanted to be childless by choice. And yeah, just crazy, crazy, crazy how much a woman ahead of her time she was. But she was also Team Logan, Gilmore Girls fans, if you don't know that already. I put hashtag Team Logan, and then I think one of my favorite quotes from the book was, "You know those rare people you're introduced to for the first time, and instead of saying, 'nice to meet you,' you're tempted to say, 'oh, there you are.'" Just love that. Just love it. But I did give it 3.5 stars because of the mechanics. I desperately wanted to give it 5-star, but there was enough of it that was just irking me that I couldn't do it. But it's a great read. You should absolutely check it out, especially if you're a Gilmore Girls fan. And the Gilmore Girls bit of it is actually quite small compared to the rest of her story about her life, the men in her life, the relationships with coworkers, not necessarily romantic relationships with coworkers, like her relationship with Lauren Graham and Alexis Bledel. It's just such a great memoir for such an amazing woman and actress over, like they said, 6 decades. Okay, and then there's the slog. There's the long book that has taken me from November 9th to the night of November 29th to get through. And I really thought it was going to be a home run for me. And that is The Will of the Many. I just finished it last night. I have not had time to really formulate all of my thoughts yet, so I'll have to put some personal thoughts in here. I came into this really expecting it to be a 5-star for me. It is, let's see, how many pages is it compared to Abaddon's Gate? No, Abaddon's Gate's 100 pages shorter. Interesting. But the thing is Abaddon's Gate just moved and moved and moved and moved and moved. And there are other people who have read The Will of the Many who feel like it does that for them. And I did not feel like it did that for me. I just felt like it was too long. The Will of the Many by James Islington is the first entry into a new fantasy series set in a world where personal will is leached to fuel an oppressive empire. Through the eyes of Vis Telemus, a fugitive playing the long game with the elite Catanan Academy, readers unravel layered mysteries involving murder, ancient weapons, and the Republic's deepest secrets. So I do love the whole Roman bent to this fantasy world. I was having a little bit of trouble keeping up with who has the most will, so it's kind of like a pyramid scheme. And as people give up their will, you're this level, or you're this level, or you're this level. And then, of course, you get to the top of a pyramid where you can harness the will of thousands and thousands of people who have voluntary given of their will. There's some really cool elements. There are some cool labyrinth things that go on. But overall, minute by minute, and maybe it was the audiobook, tell me down in the description box below if you've done audio and physical book or just physical book and it went faster for you. I didn't necessarily love the narrator, but I didn't hate him either. I had a really hard time getting him. By the time I got down to the last 200 pages, 150 pages, I was really beginning to feel like it was a slog. And I was wondering if I was going to finish. And at that point, I'm like, well, I'm not going to DNF this. I've only got, 100 pages to go. I kind of want to know what happens now. and of course it ends with a little bit of a cliffhanger so there's something for book 2. I don't know. I just really felt like it was going to be a home run for me. It's not unlike Red Rising and they are compared. People compare the two of them together a lot. I definitely liked it more than I liked Red Rising, but I expected it to be more, and it wasn't. So those were my 3 reads. And of course, they got me to my goals. So back here, we have checked off the memoirs. Oh, I can fill this in if I have a pen close by. I don't have a pen close by, but I can fill this in and I can fill these in. It just wasn't a home run for me. And then, of course, our Grimm read-along for the month was Little Red Riding Hood. And I just kind of put down some of the main themes from Little Red Riding Hood, being beware of strangers, obeying rules and instructions of those who know more than we do, like, go to grandmother's house and don't deviate from the path. Appearances can be deceiving. Actions have consequences. The importance of being vigilant and redemption from mistakes as well. And then I just kind of put an asterisk in here. They filled the wolf with stones. After the escape of grandmother, they fill the wolf's stomach with stones. And I was like, what? What is that all about? So yeah. All right. So we are going to, I only have, look, this is how much I have. It's not a lot. We're going to go ahead and set up for December. The story we're going to read is sort of pseudo-Christmas related, and that is The Elves and the Shoemaker. And in some Grimm versions, it's just called The Elves, and in others, it's called The Elves and the Shoemaker, depending on the edit and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, so that's what we're going to read. I'm just going to, as usual, slap some washi tape wallpaper on this page. Let me know if you read Little Red Riding Hood, or it has 2 or 3 names as well. And some of them are just like the Red Cape. I can't remember them all. When I was doing my research, I do know that it has multiple names as well. But let me know if you read it. And if you were surprised by anything like I was when, they filled the wolf's stomach with stones. Other than that, there wasn't anything in there that was terribly enlightening or new. It was all stuff that I already was aware of. And then what did you read in November? Let me know. Are you close to your reading goals? Did you even set any reading goals? Not everybody has like a Goodreads count goal, which is healthy, by the way, to not necessarily have that. But if you had other reading goals that you wanted to hit, have you found yourself reading anything unusual? While it's not unusual for me to be a sci-fi fan, those of you who've been with me the whole year now definitely know I'm in my sci-fi era. It is clearly where I'm finding my reading joy. And while reading science fiction is nothing new, reading as much as I have read this year is definitely a bit of a surprise. Definitely a little bit of a shocker. And will that continue in 2025? Well, if I continue to enjoy the Expanse series, the probability of that is pretty high that y'all are going to see me progress through that series, if not finish it. Only have through book 4 in a physical copy because I got them from a used bookstore for $3 a piece. It was ridiculous. They were so cheap and I was so excited. So I would either need to continue them in audiobook or make an effort to start acquiring them. I certainly don't want to pay full price for another 5 books when I didn't have to pay full price for 3 of them. Another one of them I purchased new, but I got it on sale for $12. So, still not a full $20 book. I don't know. We will see. I'm wondering how I didn't get this corner trimmed well. Okay. Let's put our elves in here. And those of you who've been reading along with me, let me know what your edition says. Does your edition say the elves? Mine says the elves. It doesn't say the elves and the shoemaker. Or does yours say the elves and the shoemaker? Or does it say something else? You just never quite know when it comes to these Grimm fairy tales. All right, I haven't picked an accent color, so I think we've stuck a lot with pinks and blues. Just do this. So, December, and then elves. I anticipate that my December reading is also going to be fairly light, simply because I'm still filming more content for Planmas. And we'll need to get that in there, including, of course, what is coming is my 2025 reading journal setup. You'll have to look forward to that. I'm going to announce a special read-along to go with it. That'll be a multi-year endeavor. I'm also going to unveil a new rating system that I have come up with for myself. But that if others of you are interested in following the same rating system, I have it all broken down for you as well. And here we are. We're going to put our last tag on here, and I just always just eyeball it and go, there we go. And hopefully you're not also picking up the sound of my son gaming because, it's holiday time and people are here and there's all kind of noise in my house and I can't control it all. So there is my reading for November. Let me know what you read down in the comments below. As usual, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, especially for that upcoming reading content, and I will catch you in the next one.